So will religious voters come out for the Trump-Pence ticket in November? We want to bring in founder and president of Now Television Network, Pastor Mark Burns, with us. He is also a Donald Trump supporter. Also joining us from New York, conservative commentator Kirsten Haglund. Good to see you, Pastor. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What do you think? Is this ticket resonating with the religious voter?
Without a question. Mike Pence coming on board. As you heard yesterday, his faith is extremely important to his everyday life. It goes along with his record of voting. He has been standing for the conservative, Christian conservative movement and the values that are dear to our hearts as Christians and as conservatives, and he did it on the national platform yesterday when he accepted for his VP nomination.
And this is an important group, Daggett.
Absolutely. So we've talked about this before, but 79% of evangelicals went for Mitt Romney, 79% went for George Bush in 2004. John McCain did not do as well. The most critical issue for the Trump campaign and for Mike Pence is to get those votes out. Are you seeing any indication these evangelicals who did not come out for Romney in some way and come out and vote, are they going to vote, and what are you doing about that?
Well, the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton are doing a wonderful job for us by hammering in the issues, moral issues that are dear to conservatives across this country. So as you've heard Mr. Trump say over and over and over again, you only have one other option. And for the evangelical community, same-sex marriage is dear to us. Abortion is huge. The murder of millions of babies that the Democratic Party are allowing, what just took place in Texas with the Supreme Court overturning the Texas abortion law. We need a president that's going to appoint conservative justices for the next 30 years. It's going to affect the outcome of our country, my children and their children, for the next 30 years. And so right now, evangelicals, even those in the black community, I was having a wonderful conversation with a large group of African Americans last night, and they are conservative, they're Christians. They may not necessarily understand everything that Donald Trump has done or said since the primaries, but one thing they can get behind him with is that he is waving the banner of faith. He's waving the banner of Christianity and conservative moral values that they can't get behind. It's amazing how God could use the least likely people to be a champion for our conservative views, but I think Donald Trump is it.
Ed Rensi, how do you see it?
Well, I couldn't agree more with the pastor. I think we have a moral center in this country, and people believe and have faith, and we have freedom of religion and be able to practice our religions, and we're very tolerant. And I think to have Ronald Reagan, I spent a lot of time with him, and he was a very faithful man, and you'd never know it. He was just quietly in love with God. And, you know, you got to admire that. You got to feel, you got to have a moral center to survive in this world. And I think Trump's going to do it for us.
I believe so.
Kirsten, jump in here. How do you see it? Do you think that we are, in fact, seeing this corner of the conservative movement come out?
I think that Mike Pence was the best choice for Donald Trump if this is the group that he has wanted to engage, and of course it is. It's incredibly important. I know and have talked to many people who were not really on the Trump train, so to speak, before this, and we're still concerned about who were they going to vote for. Was there someone who they could vote with their conscience, knowing that they were going to be able to make good, solid decisions that they as Christians could get behind? And with Mike Pence, knowing that he is a man of deep faith, and he was very unapologetic about that last night, these people that have been on the fence now are crossing over. Now, the important thing, are they going to turn out? I think that we can predict that after his excellent performance last night. But, you know, I think at the end of the day, as Christians, we need to remember that God doesn't have a party, right? Politics is you know, less than faith, that God is bigger than politics. And I think one of the best messages from Pastor Burns, as well as from Mike Pence last night, was this, not that God takes sides, but that we must pray for our leaders, that we must pray for wisdom and discernment, and that whoever does win the election in November, that we as believers need to pray for our leaders in order to see them be able to make wise decisions and good decisions. And Christians can get behind the fact that there will be a man as vice president who will be praying for Donald Trump daily. And I think that that's something that Christians can be very happy about.
That was very powerful.
Very powerful.
All right, we will leave it there. Kirsten, Mark, good to see you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pastor Mark Burns, Kirsten Haglund.